Hello, and welcome to the final project for Social Studies 9. So, unlike our previous videos, this one will just focus on what the final project will be about. This final project is designed for everyone to finish their course through the online learning because of the COVID-19. But there is, of course, options for those who wish to voluntarily sign up for some one-on-one help and or instructions, and you use the school website to sign up. Remember, if you want to attend a certain day, you need to sign up if there is space available before 7 p.m. the night before. So let's get into your final project. Now, the final project, as it was mentioned back on the very first day, the final project is going to be an artifact. And this artifact is going to be a representation that kind of shows, something that represents how did Canada emerge as a nation. This was a very the important theme and guiding question throughout the entire course. And the various units we have done, whether it was the geography or the basic skills, Industrial Revolution, the Pacific Railway, the imperialism, the fur trade, the wars, Canadian Confederation, would all be part of that. Now, for the final project, you want to create or find something that is an artifact and then create a digital presentation that showcases this artifact and how it is connected to what we have learned in the course. The sharing can be done as a PowerPoint, Keynote, video, or something else there, but you want to have your presentation, your digital presentation, to be around 5 minutes. However, some of you might be wondering what is an artifact. Typically, an artifact is simply an object that was created by a person and has some sort of cultural, economic, historical, sociological interest. And an artifact you can learn a lot from just studying from this one particular item. Perhaps some of you might have something in your own place of residence that can be used, or you can create something from scratch. Ultimately, the options are pretty unlimited. But you want to make sure your artifact is somehow connected to the 5 units that we have done in the course there. And it's also very, very important that no artifact can be duplicated. And you'll see how that will be structured with the weekly routine coming up. But that is something that's very important to know, that there is no artifact that will be duplicated. There is no exceptions to this rule there. So it is really, really important that each of you follow the recommended timeline in this assignment. Now, speaking about that too, being that this is the final project, there's no partner options. It is a final, it's supposed to be deep learning, reflective with the core competencies. So no option of group work, period. You can work on this at home and you can continue working this if you sign up to do any work from the school there. The whole project is going to be due no later than Friday, June the 19th at 2:30 p.m. This is also the same time period for when marks cut off. As I've been saying this for several weeks, the June 19th deadline is non-negotiable for that. Now, what about the overall project criteria? You know there is the artifact there. You need to get clarification or confirmation on it. That's the first part. The second, is your information, the digital presentation. And this digital presentation can be like a PowerPoint, a Prezi, a video, Keynote. There's a lot of different options, but your digital presentation, you want to include elements from each unit, elements that connects to your artifact that represents how Canada emerged as a nation and truly show what you have learned from taking this course. Um, Generally speaking, um, For the digital presentation, as I said, we've had geography, the Industrial Revolution, the railway, the fur trade. From each as examples, for each of those units, you want to choose two events from each unit. From each of those two events, you want to find and provide two pieces of information about that event, location, person, just two pieces of knowledge with that, and then one visual to go with it. So, for example, if you want to do like the last spike of the Canadian Pacific Railway, for the Canadian Confederation, if the last spike is your artifact, your confederation could be John A. Macdonald and say like the Parliament Building of Ottawa. Those are two events. Then for like John A. Macdonald, you have his name, you have the picture, and then you tell two things about, such as he was a member of the Great Coalition and he was Canada's first prime minister. All the information you provide needs to support what your artifact is, and from that artifact, it goes to show the big picture of how did Canada emerge as a nation. What is your answer to that question? This is a thinking kind of a project. This is not something that's supposed to be vast amount of quantities. This is thinking. This is slow learning, reflective kind of learning. That's the reason why we are spending 3 weeks to complete this project. And that is why also there are those 5 stages to your project. Now, as you see on the second page of your criteria, there are those 5 stages. Stage 1 begins on June the 1st. You want to be messaging me with several options of what you want to have as an artifact. Once you begin, you will have those options, but you need to have the artifact selected first so I can record what your selection is and to make sure there is no duplication. Then, on June the 3rd, each student can begin researching their topics, researching information from each of those units, researching about the artifact. You are doing the research. So in that research as well, you want to be keeping all your information for your references. Remember, this is being a final, this is being social studies, so references in the correct format will be required. Some of you are still, for whatever reason, was not doing the correct format. Look onto page 12 in your workbooks to see the correct format. References have to be in the correct format. There are no exemptions to that rule. Once you finish your research, show me it, whether you take pictures and upload onto the Edmodo, or use like Office 365 or Google Docs and share those information. You want to show me that you got your research and I can give you some feedback. So then on stage 3, you can begin putting your presentation together, no matter what your platform is going to be. And then around stage, and that's on June 8th. Then on around stage 3, as well as stage 4, you want to begin and finish putting your artifact together. Now, putting your artifact together may take a long time or may take not a lot of time at all. The main idea is that you want to find something that shows what you have learned in this course. And also, please do not buy anything. That is not the purpose to do that. And then on for stage 5, on the 15th of June, you want to basically finish doing your recording your presentation, make sure your artifacts finish, make sure your references are complete, check over the rubric for this to essentially check off the list that everything has been finished on the rubric, and then you have until June 19th, the Friday at 2:30 p.m. to digitally upload your stuff. Now remember, with all these stages, you'll be sending me this information, whether on shared files or pictures or whatever the choice is. Once you get the confirmation from me, you will receive the next stage. That'll be sent to you as a separate PDF on your Edmodo messenger there, so we can all be lock and sync together to make sure there is, well, no confusion um, or misunderstanding, we could say, about what is being said. And the last part is then the marking assessment. Essentially, you look on the last page of of your criteria, you have that rubric. The rubric's basically the 25 for each one, from historical perspectives, information, the presentation, and the artifact. You want to look over that rubric and follow that along. Send me the updates. I'll give you the next stage information, because each stage will give you the criteria instructions of how to complete it for this. So that is the final project, the artifact and the digital presentation. I always look forward to how and what students find at the end of the year. Good luck.